What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. I'm back here with Gab and Maui. Say hi, guys.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Okay, so today we are going to do another roundtable discussion. Alam niyo naman, nagra-roundtable discussion tayo tuwing wala tayong mapag-uusapan sa UAAP basketball. So, there are some minor news to talk about, but let's do a roundtable this week. Uh, for today's discussion, we're gonna do it slightly differently. Medyo naging, ano ba, nagiging controversial yung mga topics natin kasi sinasabi natin best import or best FSA or best underdog story. So sige, let's not call this the best team, but we want to call it like our favorite or the most iconic for us. UAAP basketball teams that we felt like could have won the championship, that did really well, but they never won the championship. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Gab, anything you want to add before we start?
We did talk about this prior to the show, so this not gonna be a debate style. Okay, we're not gonna fight each other. Uh, so just a definition of what iconic means. That doesn't necessarily mean that they were close to winning a championship, but they are the teams that we look back that we remember a lot of these teams, but you look back and they never won anything. So, yun lang. That's a very loose definition. You could go about it either way you want. Kayo bahala. To all our subscribers, you could comment down below which team do you remember the most but never won the championship.
Okay. And siguro something to add to that. Let's go to the most recent one. A team like the UP Fighting Maroons that lost in the recent season, or let's say a team like the Ateneo Blue Eagles that lost in the previous season prior to this one. Hindi na namin sila kinonsider. Number one, very recent. Number two, nagpalitan naman sila eh. Technically, they both won in 2022. So, let's not consider those two teams. Yun lang yung some of the things that we considered. Pero hindi din tayo masyado lalayo. As usual, we don't know all the teams that played in the 50s, etc. So, let's start with my team. And I think, Maui, this is also your team. Let's start with the 81-82 UP Fighting Maroons. Season 81, Season 82 UP Fighting Maroons. Two teams slightly different. Season 81, you have yung core mo, FSA mo, Bright Acuete, one of the best imports at that time. MVP level import. You had your local stars in the JDL brothers. You also had your star sort of recruit.
Or pastar.
Pastar recruit. Kobe Paras. He was in... tama. He was in both seasons. You also had a very, very solid point guard in Jun Manzo. And yung medyo different lang, in season 81, they had the graduating Paul Desiderio. And then
Mr.
in season
Atinto.
82, Mr. Atinto. And then in season 82, nawala siya, but they were able to get, nag-residency lang siya in the previous season, they were able to get Richie Rivero, which I think, like, from a skills perspective, was an upgrade over Paul Desiderio. Like, magaling si Paul Desiderio, but I think Richie is on another level. So, imagine yung core lineup na yun. They were so exciting. We were all super hyped about UP. I remember those moments. Lalo na nung nag-finals UP, I think Final Four kalaban nila was Adamson. It was a very close fight also. I remember I came
Timely
from a
baskets
meeting. Correct.
by
I
Desiderio.
came from a meeting watching that game. The UP community was hyped. Kasi, alam mo naman, this is like the first time we're seeing UP in the Final Four nung season 81. chance. And then for some reason, we got into the finals that year. Grabe yung hype and excitement. And we had Richie Rivero lined up for the next season. Parang it was looking really great for UP for the next couple of years. And, true enough, nag-champion sila ngayon in 2022. But unfortunately, they didn't make it. It was very disappointing. Um, Na-sweep pa sa Ateneo. Uh, I was
Demolished in the finals by finals 30.
ibang
Yung
level.
lumabas si Finals 30
Ibang level
talaga.
yun, bro.
Ibang
Finals
level.
30, ibang level. I was hoping for a more exciting battle, but unfortunately, we didn't get that. Maui, you wanna add? Tama ba, Maui? Ito ang pick mo.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with Sam. I think sa most recent teams, this is one of the most iconic teams. Actually, Sam, when you were talking, I was checking season 81 lineups. I wanted to make sure yung lineup ng season 81. I really remembered kasi si Kobe Paras and si Richie Rivero entering the same time. And they did nung season 82. So, if you talk about disappointment, season 81 was a miracle run for UP. They made it to the finals. I mean, that was the first time in so long. I think first time ng Final Four era, if I'm not mistaken. And you mentioned kanina, despite making the finals, Richie Rivera was coming to town. So si Kobe Paras din pala was also
So sabay pala sila pumasok season
Yeah,
82. Mali pala, mali.
Sabay pala
Oo.
sila.
Okay.
So I think when you talk about disappointing teams, you talk about the season 82 UP
Season
team.
80.
Yeah, if you talk about the most iconic, one of the most disappointing teams, I would say they're one of the top sa list. They got into the finals with a young team, and then the following year they got two of the most marquee recruits, Rich Rivero, transferred from LaSalle, also played in the finals previous years. And then Kobe Paras, one of the most hype ballers, one of the first
6'7", uber athletic.
And one of the first Filipinos na highlight talaga na naglaro sa States. And then you go into the season and you don't even make the finals. So I think that just speaks everything about how disappointing that season was.
Not just did not make the finals, Maui. They lost the twice to beat advantage. With a twice to beat advantage to UST in season 82.
Yeah, correct. Pero you got to hand it. I think we got to give credit rin to Coach Alden Ayo. Yung season na yun, UST was also prime. That was also the season that they unleashed Abando, if I'm not mistaken. And MVP season rin ni Chabio nung season na yun. So, but yeah, if you talk about this UP team, yung season 82 team, I remember nung first round against Ateneo, tinambakan pa nila Ateneo nung I think almost 20 points ng first half. And everyone was shocked. Everyone was expecting them to really railroad the whole season. And then when the third quarter comes, Ateneo goes on its masterful third quarter run. Parang Golden State Warriors, they just beat the shit out of UP. And then finally, they close out the game. And then I think talaga yun yung turning point ng season for Ateneo. And maybe also a turning point for UP when they realized that they were not that strong. But yeah, if you're talking about iconic teams, definitely UP season 81 and 82. Teams that should have won at least one ring.
Yeah. Sorry, nalito na ako. But now that you've clarified it, season 82 was super disappointing then. Getting like Richie and Kobe together at the same time. Siguro one thing lang din na nahirapan yung UP was, I think Bright, he was sort of like on and off health-wise in both seasons, if I remember correctly. Like nothing major pero super banged up siya lagi. I think wala din kasi silang
Big,
really solid big.
Puro wings
Exactly.
talaga.
Correct.
Gerson Prado!
Actually, minsan nagbibig na si Paras 'di ba? Si Paras na yung binibig nila eh. Jello Vito was there also, if I remember correctly.
Si Jello Vito na nga ang nagagamit eh. Kahit undersized siya.
Super.
Yung time na
So, I think yun din, no? Bright was really good pero I remember that guy was banged up. Sobrang dami niyang tape. And ang naalala ko, para siyang Anthony Davis nung time na yun na every time matumba siya or mahulog siya sa floor, may collective holding of the breath of the UP crowd na parang eto
Sa
na ba,
finals
shit,
against Ateneo,
delikado.
na-injure siya
If
I
you
remember that.
remember, there was an issue with his knee brace before game 2 of the finals.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Oo.
that, Gab. Yeah. Na-delay yung game
Tama.
for so
May
long.
delay. I remember that. So, yun lang. Gab, anything you wanna add to
Okay,
UP?
so I just want to tackle this within 2 points. So what made them iconic, one, and number two, what went wrong? Why didn't they win? So una, what made them iconic? Between season 81 and 82 UP Maroons, of course, 82 had all the stars. Kobe and Richie were there to go wrong with the GDL brothers and Bright. But I think para sa akin, mas iconic yung 81 eh. I think we all remember the timeout in the Final Four where Paul Desiderio shouted yung atin to, and that alone was iconic. It became the battle cry of UP for the next how many seasons, just Paul Desiderio's cry in that timeout. And I do remember season 81, every UP game was sure to be exciting. Hindi ko alam kung maalala niyo yun, pero bawat UP game, sure ka it'll come down to the wire. Kasi they'll build a big lead, then hahabulin sila ng kalaban nila, then come down to the wire, and then make some clutch shots at the end and escape with the win. I do remember this. It always came down to the wire. So para sa akin, mas iconic yung season 81. And that was the first time in the finals for them since the 80s, when when Kobe Paras's father Benji was there. And then the season 82, it was iconic, I think, for the wrong reasons. Yung tama nga si Maui. Iconic sila because they had so much talent but they wasted all of it. And what went wrong for season 81, I think what went wrong was mainly they bumped into Ateneo in the finals. As I said before, they bumped into finals 30. They couldn't stop 30 in the finals. He was a beast. And they were demolished in the finals. But I think that was the stepping stone that they needed, which eventually led to their championship at season 84. And yung 82, sad to say, but this was a coaching mishap. It's true. Talaga, wasted talent talaga yung season 82. So much talent, and their only play on offense was to give it to Kobe Paras every single time. It was headache talaga. So, or actually, hindi nga Sam eh. Remember, Richie averaged like 6 to 8 points a game. He didn't get any shots. Even si Juan GDL, who was such a big scorer for them in season 81. Season 82 was coming off the bench.
Masyado maraming firepower. Hindi na
and this is the exact case of having too many mouths to feed.
Yeah.
Diba? Right. No. Ang naalala ko doon was like they were parang sometimes naman nagiging sobrang passive sila kasi they're trying to give each other like their turn. Parang, your turn, my turn. So sometimes naman si Kobe, ang nakikita mo, ba't ka pasa ng pasa? Like, i-drive mo na pero pinapasa mo pa rin. Ganon. I just remember some of those moments.
Talaga? I remember it totally different, Sam. I do remember the
sorry, baka si Richie pala ang passive na parang he was giving it
not
to
Kobe.
Yeah,
si Kobe, dami
sorry.
offensive fouls nun. Hindi ko makalimutan din yun, Gab.
Yeah. As in,
marami
tama ka, Mau. As
fouls.
in, it was a really so yung sobrang headache yung panoorin yung season 82 UP eh. Kasi, alam mo yun, kasi they only had one play. And that was to give it to Kobe Paras. And to be fair, because they escaped with wins because of talent alone. They had so much firepower that they could play crap. I don't know if you remember this, pero there are times na tatabakan sila ng first half. As habulin lang nila ng second half. Every time, dahil sobrang talented nila. They had so much firepower. Pero yung disappointed. I do remember the Final Four against UST. Coach Bo kept on running the same play, just giving it to Kobe Paras yung in the left wing, in the left post. Every time, paulit-ulit. Yung like a broken record. And then, wala, yun lang. it this was the iconic for the wrong reason, season 82.
Disappointing.
UP. Sobrang disappointing talaga. But yeah, the season 82 UP Maroons.
Sorry, one
Coaching.
last thing.
It's coaching.
Yeah, true. And that led to, eventually them getting Goldwyn Monteverde. So, yun yung silver lining doon. One last thing. I think yung atin to, wasn't it like the first game of the season? Or something like that? Tas parang yun yung naging battle cry ba nila? Or parang naalala ko early during the season yun hindi sa Final Four. Kaya parang all throughout yun yung battle cry nila nung season 81. If
Talaga?
Hindi ko maalala,
Okay.
parang yun yung alala ko. Comment
We'll
down
have to
below
go back.
or research natin kung kailan yung atin to moment ni Desiderio.
Ang alala ko sa amin, it was either in the Final Four or it was to clinch of the Final Four slot. Something like that. It was a big shot eh.
Okay, okay.
Oh, anyway, tell us, our UP subscribers, tell us if you remember it. Basta I remember it was against Adamson.
Adamson, correct. Tama yung naalala natin. Gab, Mau and I are in agreement. It's UP for us, most memorable or iconic or hype team na we love but didn't win the championship. Which one's your pick?
My pick for iconic team. So when I pitched this topic, I had really one team in mind, and it's not just one team from one season. It's an era actually of a team, and that's the UST Growling Tigers from 2011 to 2015 or 14. I think 15. Yeah. 15. And this was the era of Kevin Ferrer, Karim Abdul, Jeric Teng, UST Growling Tigers. So again, I'll take it. What made them icon? And yes, we'll go to that later, Mau. You will go to that later. So para sa akin, what made them iconic is they won a lot. And they were essentially the same team for 4 or 5 years. They just shifted around some pieces, got in some new point guards and all that. But they were essentially the same team, the same core. Karim Abdul, despite them saying he was of age, I doubt he was of age. But yeah, he stayed for 5 years and they made the finals 3 times. So they 2012 against Ateneo. They made the finals the following season, 2000 against Lasal, and they made it again in 2015 against FEU. So that's 3 seasons where they almost made it but came up short. And I do remember this team because this was a team that was full of wings, and I think Maui would be very proud of this team. I do remember this team was pretty iconic in terms of playing modern basketball and playing a modern lineup. This team was it. They had one center, then they were just surround Kareem Abdul with a bunch of long, lanky shooters. Just looking at the lineups in Wikipedia, Kevin Ferrer, Aljon Mariano, Jeric Teng, Ed Dakiwag, Clark Bautista, then Jeric Fortuna, Renzo Sobido. So much talent in this in those 5 seasons in UST, but they came up short. What went wrong? Number one, as you said, Mau, what went wrong? The King Archer himself, Aljon Mariano, in 2013. And I think it was basically them coming up against better opponents in the finals. In 2012, talagang juggernaut of an Ateneo team yon, with Greg Slaughter, Kiefer, and the rest of the team. And then against Lasal, it was Jeron Teng, Norbert Torres, and all those folks. Then FEU, yung sina Mac Bello, R. Pogoy. Para sa akin, they came up short because they faced better competition in the finals. So, this was a team talaga, sayang, so many chances to win a championship, but they never were able to repeat the 2006 magic. Sam or Maui?
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, go Maui. Go Maui.
Yeah, I think I also agree with Gab. This is one of the most iconic. If you're talking about iconic teams, ito yung matindi talaga because they were together for a span of I think most their playing careers 5 years. This is Pedro Herencio after the 2006 championship, building a lineup very similar to 2006, all wings, one big, a solid point guard they can trust. Um, but yeah, I think they should have really won yung sa Lasal talaga. Of all the yung FEU kasi, yung FEU and Ateneo series, I really thought equally matched talaga yung especially yung Ateneo, equally matched sila with FEU, and then with Ateneo naman over ano talaga sila. Overmatched talaga sila. But when you talk about yung UST season, Aljon Mariano season, I think they really should have won that, but for some reason, God knows if it's correct, Aljon Mariano threw an errant pass to Lasal, and they won the championship, I think, in 3 games. But yeah, if you're talking about one of the most iconic teams that never won the chips, ito yung maganda kasi ito talaga, if you're talking about UP, yung core team talaga is just one year, and then not even the whole team. Yung UST naman, when you talk about this UST group, it's really the core team of Pido. Pido recruited all of this. This is also when he ended yung first stint niya with UST. And we'll see. I think we will see another UST lineup that will be filled with wings definitely in the coming seasons.
Yeah, just wanted to add what I enjoyed about that yung run nila to the finals, I think, is the LaSalle versus UST one. I just wish it didn't end that way, but something that we did enjoy, it was Teng versus Teng, right? Tama yung naalala ko, di ba? It
Teng
was
versus Teng yun.
Yes.
Teng versus
Teng versus
Teng
Teng.
game. That was really exciting for me just to see yung storyline na yon na may magkapatid. And siguro just to compare it, tama si Maui, no? Just to compare it to the UP lineup, this one had parang years to gel, to work together. And to Gab's point, kanina sabi ni Gab, UP was outcoached. This one you can't blame. Maybe Pido can be blamed for that Lasal loss also. Hindi lang naman si Aljon yung parang naging questionable yung decisions at that time. But Pito already won a championship. He was an established UAAP coach. Kinuha nga siya ulit eh, because they know na they can trust him.
Last resort na.
so so medyo mind-boggling talaga yung talo nila sa Lasal. Sorry, I don't think they had a chance against Ateneo. I think that was also their first finals appearance. No matter how good tong si Karim Abdul,
Greg
I
Slaughter.
really like him, but do this undersized. Like, paano niya babantayan si Greg Slaughter? So, I think they had a chance against FEU and LaSalle, but definitely the most disappointing one was the one against LaSalle. Ako, dun sa players na binanggit nyo, ang favorite players ko doon was really the Kiwag and Aljon Mariano. So, really disappointed that Aljon's career ended that way.
Dami naka-pro from that lineup.
Yeah.
Sobrang dami
Actually,
naka-pro from those.
Ang daming pros from that team. Sobrang dami. Which is what made them so iconic.
Si Aljon still has a good still with SMC. So good career with SMC.
Still with SMC.
Let's just put it that way. Okay. Let's end it there. What do you guys think? Do you agree? One of the most iconic
Maybe
teams
before we go, let's mention
Go
some
ahead, Gab.
honorable mentions. Some teams we
Ayaw nga
talked about.
pala. Go ahead.
But didn't make our list yung for this episode. So ako, also one of the teams that I thought of was the James Yap UE Red Warriors. I think that's pretty iconic. James Yap, Paul Artadi, Ronald Tubid. Those dudes were scary to play against. They were so good. They ran the ball up and down the floor, gave it to James Yap, the high flyer in Ronald Tubid. So that's one of my honorable mentions. Kayo, you have any honorable mention?
I think a lot of UE teams talaga yung honorable mention. When you're talking about iconic teams that didn't win the championship, siyempre you have to mention yung 14-0 UE Red Warriors led by
Yes.
sila Marcy Arellano, James
James
Martinez.
Martinez.
And I think controversial din si Bonbon Custodio, similar to Alvin
Ah.
Arellano.
Forgot.
I
Oo
have to
nga,
call it,
oo nga.
I think Bonbon Custodio, one of my favorite UAAP players, plays like Cyrus Baguio, very
Oh
athletic, has a
yeah.
lot of moves. Then finally, when they went 14-0, just disappears ng finals against Azal. So I don't know, maybe it's a case of rustiness because they swept the season, or
No, Maui, I
maybe
think si Bonbon was really confirmed.
I was
Oh,
gonna
by
say,
the
was
by,
it, was it confirmed?
to be
yeah.
fair kay Aljon, mas malayong malala yung kay Bonbon. Yung kay Aljon, we're just questioning yung one play. Pero si Bonbon, I think Maui, there was
He was
proof.
kicked out of school.
Yeah.
And there was proof that he actually sold the game. I sold the finals.
So siya pala yung OG talaga, yung legit. Oh, ayun,
Oh,
ano.
si Aljon, in fairness to him, it's all rumors.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
rumors. Maybe just blown out of proportion because it was also against Lasal and more
Oh,
recent. But yeah, if you mentioned those types of teams, like yung UE talaga has a lot, definitely a lot. Especially yung 2000 to 2010 time. And I have to mention also one of my heartbreaking moments sa UAP, yung Ateneo 2016, sila JC Intal, Dog Kramer, Maka Escalona. They were ballers. Especially si JC Intal, he was playing out of his mind nung season na to. He was clearly pro ready. And they were defeated by
yes.
a miracle run UST team. Also led
Best
by Kiko
underdog
Lorenzo,
story, by the
which
way.
was
Yes.
one of our best underdog stories.
Huwag kayong
Sam.
makinig kay Gab. Watch that video. Okay, for me, good picks. But talking about UST running into the Ateneo brick wall, siguro there's another team that has experienced that more and has a more parang sad history against that at 5-peat Ateneo team. I'm picking that the FEU team that went up against
Ah,
that Ateneo 5-peat brick wall. They talk about FEU having really good point guards or guards. They had Mark Baroka, R.R. Garcia, and Terence Romeo in those in a span of those parang 4-5 years. Can you imagine like having super talented guards na ganung level, and then you had really good bigs, stretch bigs, Aldrich Ramos, Rail
Paul Sanga,
Cervantes,
Bolsanga.
Sanga shooter,
Mac
isa pa ang big,
Barakael,
Barakael,
uh, J-
Escoto,
Yes,
JR
Russell
Barabanga.
Dueling.
Escoto. That was a crazy team, pero they just couldn't get over the Ateneo hump. Every time they went up against Ateneo, kain, sorry. Wala, talo sila. So it was disappointing for them. I think all three guards went pro early also.
Yeah, they did.
Like Mark Baroka went pro early, RR went pro early, Terence
Terence.
Romeo didn't finish his
Fourth year,
career
mga fourth
din.
year players.
Siguro sabi nila, wala naman tayong pag-asa dito sa Ateneo eh. Mag-pro na lang tayo. So, I feel bad for that FEU team. They were really good.
Yeah. Great teams
Okay.
talaga. All of them.
Okay. So, let us know your pick. Let us know kung we missed out on any team that you feel like should have won a title but they didn't. And if you have any other topics or discussions that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comment section. Kasi we were talking about this kanina. March 15 pa lang. Matagal-tagal pa tayo sa UAAP season. So we're trying to come up with more topics to discuss so that you can join us as our viewers. So don't forget, let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video to all your friends. Thank you. See you again next week. Bye-bye.
See you.